All right, Frank, thank you. Right now, a number of bills are waiting for Governor Brown's signature, from expunging cannabis convictions to making it easier for the Oakland A's to build a new ballpark. East Bay Assemblymember Rob Bonta joins me now here in studio. Real quick, let me ask you about what Frank was reporting on this possibility of an antitrust lawsuit against the Raiders in the NFL. What's your reaction to that?
I support a lawsuit.
You would?
I've been publicly pushing for it. I've encouraged the county and the city to both consider it. They're going to do their due diligence and make a decision that they think is best, but I think there's a lot to potentially gain for the constituents of Oakland, the residents of Oakland, with respect to a financial reward or other relief.
Does the city open itself up for that potential countersuit?
It's almost no risk.
Right.
I guess there's always a potential for a countersuit. I don't think there's a lot of grounds for one. And the way the deal would be structured, as I understand it, is almost no risk to the city and a lot of upside for the city. All
right, let's talk about the other team in Oakland. The Oakland A's, you authored a bill, 734. Right now it's on the governor's desk. He hasn't signed it. But this would make it easier for the A's to build a ballpark, specifically at that Howard Terminal site. Why? How does it make it easier?
Specifically, it provides a expedited judicial review for any environmental challenges under CEQA, which can sometimes take up to 4 to 5 years to resolve. This requires that it be completed within 270 days. So about 9 months, creates more certainty, more expedition, more streamlining, while fully complying with all of CEQA, all of the environmental concerns and requirements, even going above and beyond what any other stadium in the state of California has done before. And this is a fully privately financed stadium. It'll create good jobs. It'll create economic development in the city of Oakland. It will create affordable housing, so many community benefits. This is a team that's been rooted in Oakland for 50 years, wants to stay rooted here for 50 more and beyond, and we want to build a future home for them.
Well, I know it was had a lot of support in the Senate and Assembly. Does this mean that you favor the Howard Terminal site compared to the Coliseum?
It doesn't. It doesn't. Right now, there's already an EIR on the Coliseum site. So the provisions of this bill really only benefit and apply to the Howard Terminal site. But both the Howard Terminal site and the Coliseum site are both very much in play and are possibilities for the future stadium.
All right, back to Sacramento. What's going on with the Oakland Unified School District? There's a possibility. I mean, just in the news recently, we're talking about them cutting sports, both on the boys' side and the girls' side, and all of a sudden there could be an injection of funds. Tens of millions of dollars. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yes, we're all in this together to support Oakland Unified School District, Senator Nancy Skinner, Assemblymember Tony Thurman and I, and we worked really hard to help get them some financial relief this year to the tune of $35 million, which will help them get back on a solid financial fiscal footing, plan for the future while not sacrificing the education of their kids and the support for their parents. So we think this is a huge win. Oakland Unified School District has an operating deficit right now, and we're willing at the state level to pay 75% of it for year 1, 50% year 2, 25% year 3, as they emerge to get to a solid fiscal footing.
I mean, that's a lot of money. You're talking about $35 million. Do you think there needs to be some changes within the district in regards to how that money is handled? Because obviously it hasn't been handled previously appropriately.
We think there can be changes and improvements that'll be better for the school district going forward, and this bill requires that.
Okay.
The funding comes with conditions for better fiscal oversight and management.
All right, AB 1793, another bill on the governor. Do you get nervous when the governor hasn't signed a bill, by the way, yet? There's a couple that are important to you.
It's early.
Okay.
There's time.
1793, cannabis convictions basically being expunged or reduced. So we'll throw out an example. 3 years ago, someone has a felony, marijuana felony. This allows that person to get that basically tossed out because of Prop 64.
That's right. So this bill, to be clear, does not create any new substantive right. The voters of California, by a supermajority with Prop 64, adult use cannabis legalization, in 2016, voted to do this, to expunge or reduce certain convictions so that individuals who have cannabis convictions on the record can now get a job or get housing where before there was a barrier. This simply says we should expedite the process. Right now the process is one-off. An individual has to know that they're eligible, that it's time-consuming, it's costly, it's confusing. So now the Department of Justice, the government, will do a sweep of all eligible individuals and say, you're eligible for a reduction or expungement. It will essentially be done for them so they can benefit from this right that the people of California gave them.
Yeah, but someone could argue, hey, you committed a felony, you pay the time, you know, but
the voters of California have voted otherwise.
Okay,
They said that even though you were convicted at the time, it was illegal at the time, going forward, you should not suffer the consequences of having that conviction on your record and carrying it on your record.
Well, it was a busy summer for you guys. Appreciate all the time, Rob.
Thank you very much for having me.
In.